All right, well, welcome to Flying with Mike. We are sitting in Kansas City, Missouri. We're getting ready to fly out another flight in the MD-80, hoping for the best. We'll see what happens in the end. Currently, we are at gate C73 on POSCON. Join us if you're up to it. We're heading to Nashville, the old Guitar City, as we called it in trucking. Um, should be about an hour and a half in the air in the MD-80, and then if all the stars and the moons and the planets align right and God allows it, we're going to try a second flight up to Boston out of there. So sit back, relax, enjoy. I have one thing to check here real quick, and all right, I thought I did that right. We'll check and see. Haven't got a squawk code yet from POSCON, but we'll give it a continue on here. There you see the MD-80 sitting on the ramp at gate 73. Let's get into the cockpit and let's start the. I'm using a checklist from X-Plane for the default MD-80. That's what we have here. Sorry, folks, it's not the um, rotate version. So I can't get into details about that. I haven't bought it. Not sure I will. We'll see though. But the default works for me for the most part. So let's get this plane powered up. So the first thing we got to do is go up to the panel, find the battery switch, which is located right here, turn it on, and then all the way up to the, oops, sorry about that, folks. Got crooked on you. Hang on a second. All the way up to the top here. And what we're looking for are these two switches. This one's for the ape. I can't zoom in, it's too far out. This is for external power. Why it's way up there, I don't even know. If I can't even remember, since I work at the airport, if that was ever there on the plane. But anyway, it lights up here. External power now available. So we're going to click left and right power. And then we're going to get some fuel pumps on, start pump on, and we're going to crank the APU up. I'm going to go ahead and get galley power going as well. And we can see it firing up here. Once it fires up, we'll be ready to go. There we go. See the APU information. Then we're going to put those two on the bus. And make sure the cargo doors are open. And I am going to go ahead and turn the bus to auto. Get the gens on for the engines. And I'm going to go ahead and take the external power off. Just making sure there isn't a point in there where we make sure it's gone. Actually, you know, it isn't going to hurt anything. All right, so, and then we'll get the APU air on. Okay, that takes care of getting the plane from cold and dark into a point where we're ready to go. APU air's on, galley power's on, and the emergency lights, we can't do anything with them anyway, they're on. Now, before, if you have any questions about this default MD-80, by all means, hit me in the chat room. Love to answer them because I have learned quite a bit about this plane. For instance, to open the doors, now I have that as a preset, so you'd have to work your way back into the main part of the airplane. To open the doors, you just click the handle, that opens that up. You can open up the galley door right behind it, as I have already. And then for the air stair in the back, you just click here and then here. This moves the door. This puts the stairs up or down. Pretty simple stuff. So, all right, so let's get into the pre-brief now. Let's kind of look at what our flight is, what it's going to be doing, and what we're going to need here. And to do that, of course, Sim Toolkit coming into fray. Ah, There we go. Ah, the sim toolkit somehow went back. All right. So what we did not see, real quick, here's our altitude runway heading. The length is 9,500 feet. Loadout 17,127, and I do apologize for that, folks. 5,200, 754 on the kilograms for the zero fuel. We've got 9,209 kilograms in. Real quick, where we're parked, since you didn't get to see that until now, because the guy behind the camera didn't make the switch properly. That would be the captain of the aircraft, me. We are parked right here. And if we scroll it down one more, you'll see the taxiways if you get them from ATC. 9 is our takeoff runway. We'll just fly out, grab the Lakes 3 departure to Columbia, over to Farmington, which is Fox Alpha Mike Rants, onto the Rhythm 2 into Nashville, runway 20 left. Okay, so we're kind of caught up where we were. Real quick so you all can see the weather. 160 at 10. You've got it there. And then the weather for Nashville as of right now. We're going to still see rain as we get closer. Might get a ceiling to come down. We'll see looking down here in the TAF. We'll see how things turn out for us as we fly on. Again, Kansas City to Nashville. Here's the tail number, MD-82. Here's the engines on the aircraft and air distance. Cruise level 33,000. That's what we'll climb up to. All right, so let's move on since we're now all caught up and the guy behind the cameras woke up. So the planned fuel for the flight today, like I said, is the block fuel down here of 9209. Again, kilograms. You'll see that's how it is in the airplane. If I hit the right switches. Alternate is Atlanta, and that'll need 2,214 kilograms of fuel to get there. It's about 39 minutes of flying time. We also need to have in our tanks when we land enough fuel for 45 minutes. So overall, if we had to put in a reserve, it would be 4.2 or 4.1, sorry. Do my addition correct. And that way we will have enough fuel to make Atlanta still have 45 minutes of fuel on board. We have no extra fuel, and this kind of breaks it down to what it takes to fly the trip, the contingency. I actually got that word right the first time this time, folks, and takeoff and taxi fuels. Here is our routing into Atlanta, should we need to take it. Tippin 3, Brexton, Chipper 1. And I believe 9s are, so the E-stops is in operation down there. We'll probably come in on the 8s. But anyway, that part we don't have to worry about. Here's our current routing again. We're going to depart runway 9, Lakes 3, Columbia, direct Farmington, direct Rants, Rants, and that'll put us on the Rhythm 2. Again, it does not, what we changed in the flight plan in Sim Toolkit does not change the information sent from SimBrief into it. So it still shows us on 2s. And again, we're planning an hour and 41 minutes in the air, scheduled hour 45. And here's the weight breakdowns. And then Sim Toolkit goes on with the breakdown from SimBrief of all the fixes and informations associated. All right, so let me scroll up here to the charts. Real quick run through them. Here's our route to what it'll look like in the air. Now, here's the significant weather we've got to contend with. All right, so we have isolated thunderstorms just on the northern edge of that SIG to 40,000 feet. So we'll see what kind of weather we're going to actually run into. Also have a jet stream cutting through our route at or around Farmington. So Actually, that's kind of just south of here in St. Louis. But anyway, so you get an idea of what we're dealing with. And this number one is occasional light to moderate turbulence to 35,000 feet. Obviously, there's turbulence in these things when you get into the CBs, otherwise known as thunderstorms. So we have that most of the route from Farmington in. All right, and then moving on to the wind chart, since we're going to 33,000, we'll do these two right here. You can kind of see it's a west to east flow at about 50, 60 knots, which our flight plan showed. I believe it was 265 at 65 or something like that. So you get an idea. That's what we're dealing with. Pretty much a kind of a tailwind, but it's also quartering to almost a full crosswind. So it's not going to push us up too much in speed, but it's enough. It'll help us get there. So coming back to that chart, the average 257 at 6.5. I was close. But anyway, so that's going to wrap us up for now in Sim Toolkit. What I want to do is get back into the cockpit now. We're going to get this checklist completed and get our plane going. That's the best news we could have. Oh, I see what I did. I hit the wrong switch. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to prepare for is to do it this way next time. All right. So I brought up the overlay just so you all can see it at the top. I'll probably get rid of it here. As we go through, and I'm also going to bring in another interesting piece. Let me kind of make it smaller because it really ate up some screen, I noticed. Hang on a second. It'll be on there now. That's still a little high. Dang it. There we go. And there we go. All right. Hopefully that won't get into the way. I noticed it was getting in the way with the Zebo. So we'll keep it on while we're on the ground here. When we start pushing back and all, I'll probably get rid of both so it doesn't obstruct any views. All right, so, and also prepare that. Okay, so we'll go with it that way. Alrighty, so that's all set and ready to go. So folks, let's move into the flight deck preparation, otherwise known as the pre-flight checklist. Again, we're going back up to the top for now. Hang on, let me check. I want to try one thing here. Actually, no, I don't want it there. Disregard, disregard. I want it here. All right, so we'll do this. I'm just curious if I have to. It looks like I have to. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay. So what I'm going to do real quick here while we have the moment, we're on POSCON, like I said, and let me first, let me do this. Okay, and put that back there. Okay, so we're on POSCON. Now, if you go up here, you'll see in X-Plane, your plugins, POSCON. Now, first thing you would do is log in. Next thing you would do, file your flight plan, which we did. I think I have that potentially. Let me see how that looks. Okay, you're not seeing the flight plan if you would have gone from Sim Toolkit, click Flight Controls, POSCON, Pre-Fly. It'll fill. This is, if you get it all right, get it submitted right, this is what it looks like. Then you come back up here to plugins, click POSCON, Web UI. And then this is what comes up for you. Okay, now we're all caught up. All right, so first thing you'll do is go to ATC, fill in the information. Now, if you're in the United States, you'll just type KUSA for the facility, and then your call sign that you've put in for the flight. Now, we're flying actually for Sim Air Force. They actually recognize airlines, folks. So SIM, SIM, is not an airline. I haven't tried Reach. I ought to try that one day. But anyway, it's basically we're flying a craft flight form, which is Civil Reserve Air Fleet in the military. So you would click ATC, go through that, boom. It's going to send out, ping back eventually, probably saying file a flight plan to KUSA for a squawk code. Once we get within the range of timing and all, you'll get your squawk, which we have here of 11:53, and I've just wrote that down. All right, so then what you'll do is come back and put that in your transponder. Now, while I'm here, let me click here, open the new tab, and we've got POSCON. Here is our plane. These are the few. There's 17 right now on 3 ATC sectors. If we scroll out, we'll probably see the other 2 in Europe. Oh, I was wrong. One's down here in India. And they have to schedule their times. And I don't remember where that's located to see when they're on. So I make sure I don't fly in their area. Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry, ATC. I know you're monitoring. No. All right. So anyway, that's what's going on here with POSCON. Like I said, it's a building. They've opened it up now to anyone who wants to come on, give it a try. It's not bad. For me, it's great because I don't get interfered with ATC too much. So what I planned actually happens. So, and even the unscheduled things that happen to us, we don't have to worry about ATC going, shame, shame, shame. All right. But again, there's right now 17 pilots flying on it. Feel free to let's run that number up. I know at 2 o'clock, possibly spy flight will be coming on in Europe. So that may boost up a little bit. I don't know if he's going to be on this or VATSIM. But just wanted to give you a little bit of a, oh, it didn't, did it not take it? Oh, there we go. I thought it would. Let's try something here. Anyway, so I'm just gonna I'm trying a lot of new things out on this stream, folks. So just wanted to let you see some things. Bring that up. We'll come back to the UI. Okay, it is working. Okay, for some reason I didn't see it, but anyway, that just gives you the idea of what we got to do here. And one thing before we continue on, I did not shame on this pilot. 2997. Okay, so 2997. Okay, so I just needed to get my information for the altimeter. All right, so we're going to now move. We got to get moving here, folks. We're due off in 20 minutes out of the gate. So, starting with the pre-flight checks, we've already done our acceptance, which was the battery, external power, APU, cargo doors. And there you go. Cargo doors are open. We still have the galley door open. Let's go ahead and close that so we can really start stepping our game up. That's one less thing to close. Now, again, to close, just click on one of the straps. It does the rest. All right, and back into the cockpit, up to the top. All right, APU air on. Okay, APU was here to start it. APU air is right above it, one click down. Galley power's on, that's over here, make sure it's down. Emergency lights again, We don't have that working on this plane, and I forget where. Oh, here they are. And that switch on the default does not work. No smoking. We've already fueled, and the seatbelt signs are on. We are not going to turn the pitot heat on yet. The meter, they call it the meter select heat. It'll move to captain when we're ready. Windshield anti-ice, we're going to go ahead and turn that on. Left and right anti-ice remains off. Stall test you may or may not hear. Okay. And then over. Okay, I don't hear that. Okay. All right. And fire loop test. Now, folks, good time to show this. In this mode, you're okay. Let me show you something here. When you're looking out the window like this, now for those of you like me that are used to clicking this button that says EPR limit, did you notice it moved? It is now right over the fire alarm. If you click that button, it's going to pull the bottle, which is going to kill the engine. When you pull the fire alarms, whichever one's lit up, it kills the fuel to it. That's first step in trying to shut the fire off. Otherwise, you hit it, with the agent. So be careful. That happened out of Seattle. I ended up crashing. All right, so fire loop test, however, let's scroll in. It's going to be right here. Fire engine. Fire engine. And that's your test. All right, so yaw dampers, we're going to go back up to the top. I am going to actually turn it off for now. And I only do that because the rudder seems to stay kicked when it's on. When it's off, it lines up. That's an old, actually, Microsoft thing. That just is a pain in the rump that seems X-Plane hasn't come out of yet. And now we're going to file our flight plan and get our FMCs up. I am going to bring us off. Oh, we're going to stay on external power for the moment. Okay. So back down to the bottom. And what we're going to do, just click on either one. Doesn't matter. I do the captain side. Oh, that's right. They updated. Wait a minute. I thought I updated them. No, I did not. That's right. That happened yesterday. I was at work. Wait a minute, what day is it today? I've lost track of days. That's what you get for working 32 hours. You lose track of days. So I got to get those all updated. No big deal on this one. Okay, for this one, we are going, so if you do see that route, all you got to do is hit clear. Usually it's not a problem. Now, for the default MD-80, you click route menu. Now, I have a route for this. I want to try something. That didn't work. I figured it wouldn't. Oh, index, that's right. So we're going to go to company route list, and we're going to look for KMCI BNA. Boom, right there. That's our second flight waiting for us as well. So we click that. Direct Columbia. Well, that's because we don't have our flight put in. All right, so it's in. Flight number is, we're going to do it this way. SIM18, even though it is in there differently. All right, so we're going to click execute. Next page, there's our two fixes. That's all there was to this, folks. Now, come back to the departure arrival page. We're going to look for the Lakes 3. Oh, duh. Always forget to do them. So used to Microsoft on this. Select your runway first, then Lakes 3, then your transition. So you've got Lakes 3 Columbia, that is your departure, all selected up, and then you're going to runway 9 for your takeoff, selected, execute, turns them into active, come down to your plan real quick, and we're gonna see something here. Let's do, because we're not gonna turn for MCI. Well, delete. We're going to leave it as is. Because what we're going to be doing is when we take off, now ATC would vector us. We're going to kind of work our way onto the line and then line up direct ANX, Alpha November X-ray. We'll get into that in the departure brief. While we're here, since we're only looking at a couple of 100 miles, it's a quick one, we're going to go ahead and plug it in. Rhythm 2, Rants. We're not going to select the runway just yet. I'm still a little skittish, may go for runway 13. Those winds are starting to get up there. Let's just do a recheck here. Right now we're at 170 at 8. 20 is not that bad, but 17 puts us right in front of the terminal. So that's why I'm kind of 13. I'm kind of beginning to lean to that one. So we'll leave it open for now, but as soon as we get to cruise, we'll probably close it up with a runway. So, and then we can look at our legs. So you can see we go off runway heading for about a mile to 1,430 feet, and then we're vectors to KCMI or back to the VOR. We're not going to do that, obviously. We're going to go to ANX. But I'd like to be on that track, if that makes sense. You'll see how this plays out. And then we'll go through the rest. Rants. Hopefully that didn't kill it. No, it didn't. Good. Execute. And basically, we're closing out any open things. Rhythm, peaky, right on down in. And we're good. So the flight plan is filed. Now let's go to VNAV. Folks, there isn't anything to VNAV here. The only thing we got to make sure is these match up with what we want to do. And for that, I need bigger eyes over here. And I'm looking at the checklist. On it is the V speeds. And our V speeds are going to come from here, gross weight, 62,015 kilograms. And I am just going to do a quick conversion. So we're going out of here with 136,000 pounds takeoff weight. All right, so time to extrapolate. We're going to go with the 140s right here. So that'll turn into 138, 143, 150. Fortunately, it does not tell us our trim. We get to kind of guess that. All right, so let me minus this back down. Bear with me a second just so I can see it better. Okay, so helps to be on the right mouse. Okay, so we'll do that. All right, so this is looking pretty good. We're going to actually climb at 310, I believe is what it says to set for en route. Yeah. So what we'll do, okay, so we'll set that as our target speed for the climb. Cruise 33000. And it's going to give us some warnings probably. And then there's our descent. Transition's good. Do we have a speed showing for descent? No. Okay. So that wraps up the FMS, folks, pretty much in a nutshell. So we'll come back to legs. And on this one, we'll put it on climb. And we'll continue on. Flight plan's been entered, so now we're going to go to the air conditioning and cabin pressurization. Not a lot we can do on this one, folks. So for the air conditioning, cockpit and cabin temperature as set. I just put them on auto. The air conditioning supply, I set to auto all the way down, 2 clicks. And finally, we do an annunciation light test, and I don't know where that switch is, so we skip over it. Now we move on to the guidance panel and instrument panel checks. So we come down to the middle. That makes it simple to see, and I'm going to scroll in just a smidge. Okay, so let me go through our V speeds. And I'm gonna set that while we're here. All right, so let me get this one here. All right, so 153, correct? $150. Okay, so that makes that a little easier to find. Then we got 143 for rotate. 138. All right, so that there narrows that down. Let me make sure they set over here. They did. Okay, so let's get into setting this up. Now I'm going to set this. We'll keep it at 160 because I go V2 plus 10. Runway heading is 90. Standby 94. Okay, cruise altitude 33,000. And again, we're using the MD-80 that comes with X-Plane 11. All right, so why am I not seeing anything? There we go. So flight director switches need to go on. We've set airspeed to V2. Well, actually, we set it to V2 plus 10. Heading has been set. Pitch. We're going to actually roll that back to 25. Bank angle set. Altitude set. Now our VHF navs. To do that, we're going to come down here. We're going to do a couple things while we're down here. All right. We are going to first set our altimeter, or I'm sorry, our transponder to 1153. One big thing I want to warn people about when you're setting this, and let's just hypothetically say they gave us 7760. Be very careful with that one, folks. Set your lower numbers first, then your upper lower numbers being this half, then set that. Because if you roll over this setting 77 and that's 00, you just sent a mayday out. 7600, you set a hijack out. 7200 something too, and I can't remember. So be careful with those. Even in a standby, it still shows. So, but anyway, then we'll keep it set on standby. Now, radio-wise, we're set on guard, 123.450. This is a Unicom channel. This is another guard channel. This is a Unicom. Now, for Kansas City, radios, do we have a CTAF or not? No, we do not. Okay, so we won't be we'll be on guard. Otherwise, we go to the CTAF channel. Now, for the DORs, are they up at the top? I don't remember seeing them. Oh, they were. I just, for some reason, didn't see them. We're going to set, oh, God, excuse me. That hurt. for case KMCI or MCI, which is 1325. And what's our first heading? Okay, do this real quick. This real quick. Actually, we're going to set Napoleon, which is 114.0. That's our first fix. And then off of that, '88. Okay. Okay, and we'll keep BNA on here. It's not on that one. Is it going to be on this one? Yes, 14.1 for now. Okay, and we're not going to worry about any of that. The only other thing I want to concern myself with is cleaning up the nav. We'll turn weather off for now. And for now, folks, we're going to get rid of the sticks just because they're in the way. All right. So that's encompassing. We got our VHF radio set and our comm set probes. Okay, the position lights need to be just on one click down. When we click it all the way down, we get the position lights, which are your red and green on the tips, and the strobes. We just want it in between, any collision off. We don't need the floods and we don't need the wing lights. And set the altimeter. We have to do that on them all. Bear with me, old eyes. Wait a minute, what did I do? I think I moved the altimeter. No, I did not. Okay. We're at 29907. Okay. And again, I try to tell this in all of them. When you set your altimeter, make sure your altitude's is right nearby. That's the altitude of the airfield. And for us, Kansas City is 1027. That's pretty close, folks. So that one thing you're going to be watching on takeoff, obviously, is your altitude. All right, and that takes us into the departure brief, folks. Believe it or not, we're actually running right almost on schedule. We're going to be late out of the gate, but we're doing pretty good. Departure brief wise, we're going to bring over Sim Toolkit one more time. And we're going to do it from this angle just to make sure you all see it. And we're going to make it just a smidge bigger. And I'm going to get rid of our Discord channel for those of you interested in it. Give me a second here as I size it up a little better. There we go. We'll go up just a smidge higher. There we go. All right, so let's fade all of that over there. All right, so that'll make it a little easier to see. So Sim Toolkit, we've already been through where we're at, what we're going to be doing. Just bringing up the live map again so you all can see some things, some features. You can see the rain we're contending with, which is actually almost out of Nashville. Won't be by the time we get there. But here's our route. Anything little blue airplanes out here, those are Sim Toolkit airplanes. All right, so switching into our flight plan. Again, the weather here, 160 at 10, gusts to 18, altimeter 29907, and no ceiling to contend with. Moving into where we're at, we're going to be taking off runway 9. So that's either going to be Delta or Charlie we taxi on to get out there. We're going to push back facing west. So we'll make sure we set that up correct. And then our parking gate is right here. So when we face along the line towards the southwest, all we'll do is come out C6, right on down to runway 9. Okay, frequency-wise, if we need to talk to anyone, ATIS is 128.375. Clearance 135.7. We've already got our squawk. Ground is 121.8. Tower 128.2. And we're going east 123.95. And for an MD-80, there are no restrictions to worry about. Okay, and again, departure 123.95. 1,027 feet, I believe, is what we came up with. Stand by. Yep, 1,027 feet. Transitions 18,000 like always. And initial climb runway heading. Expect vectors to your appropriate route. Filed altitude 10 minutes after departure. And that's all we have for instructions, folks. So basically, we're going to climb runway heading, and then we're going to go direct ANX. We will update our FMS now. And then from there, direct to Frank, direct to Columbia. No altitude we have to get above or below along the way, so a direct climb is preferred. So there, folks, is the departure brief. We've been through the V-speeds a couple times. Nothing says we can't do it again. And then here's our departure route, and then there's what we do to our arrival. V-speeds again, V1, 138, V, rotate 143, and we'll V2 at 150, climbing out at 160. And that, folks, concludes the departure brief, and we're going to get back into cockpit and begin doing our before start and then the push and start. So, but first, let's update this FMC. So let's pull it up real quick and hope for the best here. We're going to take ANX, see if it'll punch it in there, and it does. Execute. We may have to click direct intersection here and put it up here in flight. We'll see. But for now, we are set up for our departure. Okay, so now is the time to close the doors and hatches. So once again, looking outside, we just need to get our cargo doors closed. Bing, bing, bing. And you can see they've closed up. I've forgotten these so many times. All right, those are closed. Now it's time we're going to close the rear hatch first. So we click that, close the door. I say, there we go. Looking out in the plane, you don't see the hatch down anymore. We'll zoom around. And then the only thing that should be open now is the main door. And we'll get that here momentarily. There's where the air stair comes down in the back, and there's a little switch on the side that just basically rolls over the door so it can't be opened in flight. Prevent DB Cooper from jumping with his money. And then there's the main door waiting on us. Again in the plane, since we're ready to go, let's close it up, lock it in, into the cockpit. All right, let me check one other thing real quick that I like to make sure is in place. All right, and okay, so the gate's been removed. Now, fuel levers. are in the off position. That is this guy and this guy, they're in off. VHF comms, that's these guys are set. We were supposed to only set VHF navs. Those are the two on the eyebrow. Okay, transponder mode, let's set that. We'll just do it from here since we're there. Over to, oh, that's to switch. Okay, too simple. Now, this is probably one of the most important things to do to get this plane started, besides having your APU on, having the bleed on, and your fuel pumps. Those other 3 steps have to be, but if you don't do this, and it's not an easy thing to find, they're not even going to budge. Turn your left and right. They call them crossfeed valves LR. They're not fuel crossfeeds, folks. They're your air. I don't get it. It's the way the MD-80, maybe DC-9s were built. I don't know. Feel free for any pilots to let me know. I'd love to hear it. FMS is set. Let's get the hydraulic pumps. We can do that from here too, real simple. And pardon any noise in the background. So we're going to head up, get the GPU disconnected now. And all the way up to the top again. Oh, I went crooked again. All the way up to here. And we're going to shut the GPU there. And the before start checklist is now completed. We're going to get the aircraft ready for push and start. First thing up is make sure that, and they do this many times, folks, before you try to start. Crossfeed X left and right, that's these 2 switches. Make sure they're up. And now we'll get our push and start set up. And we do that. Now, if you're looking for a plug-in that what I would call a must-have, this is one of those. It's called Better Pushback. And where the heck am I? Okay, so we got it set. All right, so basically what you do with Better Pushback, you set your pushback, left click the mouse once, click enter.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Okay, and then you get that noise. Then you simply click plug in, Better Pushback, start pushback.
Ground to cockpit.
And it starts them coming on. We'll continue with our checks here. We've initiated the pushback, so the transponder code's in and set. Let's get the engine pumps on, fuel pumps. Hang on, I did mean to show you all something. Here is where I get my weights, and as you can see, it's in kilograms. So we do have fuel in the center. So we'll get all the pumps on. We don't have fuel heat. Oh, wait, I'm one step ahead of myself. Ignition selector to start, which will be B system. And we'll be ready to start here. We'll get the air supply off.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
PSI positive, and we'll be ready to start the engines here when he's ready to start pushing us. Alrighty, so he should be hooked up here momentarily. We can always look to see. And we're going to go ahead and come back up to the top. Whoop, nope, I'm sorry. Keep forgetting what airplane I'm in. There we go. Get the anti-collisions on.
So connected and bypassed and inserted.
There they are.
Release parking brake.
Now, this is a unique, I didn't know this, and I wonder if it's true or not. For the default MD-80, maybe the real ones, here's your parking brake. Just click on it, pushes it
Starting
down.
fish tack, and you may start engines.
Okay, now engine start here is not fun. It's kind of tricky. Wouldn't you? You wouldn't expect anything from an old, well, I'll call it a hunk of junk. I know some people love this plane. But anyway, what you do, we've already got, let me make sure that start pump is on, and it is. So what you'll do is you'll open the gate over the switch, press it down. Now what we're going to be watching is this gauge down here. See, this is what I don't like. I can't get it to where I can see it. There we go. Oh, there it is. Okay, so you're going to watch this gauge here, make sure it gets to 20, and then we'll go down and start. Here comes the engine. There's 15. Again, it's that bottom right dial coming up. 18, and I'll go a little higher sometimes. 20, 21. Okay, now we're going to come down. See what I mean by it being a pain? We're watching for the EGT to start, and we're waiting to see the N1 climb. Looks like it is. Okay, we got a light off. All right. So there you go, folks. That's how fun it is to start this plane up. And then while we're waiting, make sure your generators are on.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
And you've got your engine started. Now that we can do. Now you're going to get a message here after this when he pulls away that he's ready to disconnect with a stop sign like thing. You can do it then, or you can do like the real guys do. A lot of them don't let the tug go until the plane's started. So we do the same thing here. Watching N2 climb. At 21, I will turn it loose. Here comes 20, 21. Come down, put the fuel to it, and we're lit off. You can see N1 will immediately start going down. We're slowly stabilizing. I'm going to go ahead and say disconnect and wait for hand signals. So we're just waiting to make sure things stabilize. Fuel levers are on. So we now move into, bear with me a second, this is one where I need, oh, I don't have clarity over here. Doggone it.
Hose disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
And thanks for flying with Mike. Bear with me a second. I think it wants me to take it not off, but to override. Hang on, I'm almost there. Ugh. Okay. Okay, I can. Okay, I got it. All right, sorry for that, folks. Just going to the actual airplane's operating manual. I wanted to check the setting. All right, so we will set it to off. Oop, we're not on the right page. Okay, Air conditioning can come back on. Left and right engine protection not needed. Flaps we're going to set to 15. Okay, I'm going to make sure we go to the right level. Bear with me if I zoom in. One more. Perfect. All right, back up to the top. Okay, with the after start continuing, auto brakes to set to takeoff. All we do, take it down here. Speed brakes, flight controls, nose lights on, taxi checklist will be completed. All right, so basically what they're saying is we're going to come down here. We're going to arm the speed brakes. I normally don't. Flight control check, that we can do. All right, we're going to bring them back too. All right, so basically left, right, left, forward, back, elevator forward, elevator back, and left and right on the rudders. You can see the tiller moving too to the right where the parking brake is. Okay, and I like to just kind of make sure. Okay, and nose lights, taxi checklist. All right. So is completed. So we're ready to taxi. Get rid of this for a second. Zoom in. The only bad thing about the default is you don't know how bad the range is on here. And okay, we'll turn weather on, even though it probably will not show. And we're going to get taxiing here out to runway 9. We're only about 20 minutes late. Actually, we're actually only about, 15 minutes late, as we got our pushback going about 5 minutes ago. All right, so here we go. Taxiing out. We'll use Charlie to get out to runway 9. Uh-oh. All right, we've got a slight comm problem. We're going to show you how we fix it with POSCON. First thing, we go to Settings, Keyboard, POSCON, and as you can see, it's not there. We're going to set our key for it. Kansas City traffic, Allegiant 18, departing or taxiing correct to runway 9 via Charlie. All right, and we're going to get the nose light on now. I take it all the way down for bright. I want people to see me. Okay, and again, we do not need the strobes until we enter the runway. The runway is right there. But we got to taxi down. So we come out. We'll be making the turn onto Charlie here momentarily. We're going to go ahead and get the wing lights ready to turn on, but not yet. They're just in the extended. The lights themselves, the hardware is down. The lights aren't illuminated yet. All right, so we are now taxiing out to runway 9. We'll see you all at the end of the runway. Okay, now the end of the runway is coming up. We're going to get set up to do the before takeoff checklist here once we roll up on it. I believe runway 1 left. Whoop, wrong one. Hang on. Let's see. Yeah, runway 1 left is right over in this general facility, but we're going to be turning over to runway 9 here at the next intersection. So if y'all like what you're seeing and hearing, by all means click follow or subscribe. We'd sure love to see you on subsequent flights. I really do have a fun time here, and I'm glad to see all the people who've come out for the flight today. Uh, Hopefully we're gonna give you a good flight here. So far the weather is pretty decent here in Kansas City. All right, there's the hold lines. I see them coming up for 9. We'll just make the turn here. And again, for those kind of curious, this is the default MD-84 X-Plane 11. We're going to go ahead and get slowed. There we go. Release the brakes. Reset the collision lights because they love to go off. Whoop, not those. That one. All right, so the before takeoff checklist goes like this. Warning lights. That's all of this up here. Let's get the pitot heat on. And now the yaw dampers. Oh, I'm not going to trust myself. I would have hit the wrong switch. Cockpit doors closed. Fasten seatbelts is on. That is right. This is your passengers information signs. Of course, it says no smoking, but it is probably was changed to no electronics and seatbelts. Lights will turn on. We'll turn the strobes on when we hit. Annunciator panel, folks. That is, whoops, one too many down. Right here is clear. Ooh. Oh, that's our rudder because the yaw dampers on. And takeoff briefing completed. Takeoff warning test checked. I don't know where that is on the default. And we can now shut the APU and APU bleed off. So to do that, all we do is take it off the bus, and turn the APU bleed off, and then the APU itself. And you can see it spool down. Granted, it does not go that quick, folks. It usually cools a little bit, then shuts down. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. All right, so the start pump can go off. The galley needs to stay on. And okay, one more time. Again, we're checking that the left and right cross feeds are on. Ignition selector. All right, this is what I checked. We're going to override. And flaps are set to 15. All right, folks, we are ready to go. Let me make an announcement here on POSCON. Kansas City traffic, Allegiant 18, departing runway 9, Lakes 3 departure, type MD-80. All right, so here we go. Takeoff will set thrust, auto throttles will go to auto. That's right here, boom, straight up. And rotate, well, 80 knots, we cross-check, make sure everything's going. V1, rotate, positive climb. Once we're airborne, gear up, and then we'll set for best rate. Here we go. All right, and we're going to go ahead, kick over the strobe. So again, that far switch all the way to the bottom. Kick the nose this way now. Again, we have a 9,000 foot runway. We are on POSCON, folks. And once we line up and we're ready to go, we'll kick the landing lights on and away we'll go. And for those of you that like military aviation, By that I mean you like to fly the fighters, the bombers, even the cargo planes, and look, you can even still fly the passenger planes that the airlines use because of the craft system. Simulated Air Force is always looking for pilots. Now they use VATSIM for the most part. Today I decided to change it up on them and I'm using POSCON. But feel free, check them out. Sim Air Force, that's who I'm flying for today in a craft, which is a Civil Reserve Air Fleet. And when I was working at the airport a few years back when 9/11 occurred, uh, we had a ton of these flights coming in, taking troops in the build up to uh, uh, what we did in Afghanistan and Iraq. So very familiar with these flights, very familiar. Not so much with the cargo side where they did a lot of the cargo. We were the people side. Plus a few exercises that go on in Korea and other places. But anyway, I just wanted to throw a nice plug in for them. They are a good outfit. Um, so if you're interested in that kind of flying, folks, they are out there for you. All right, well, right now, what's out there for us is a 9,000-foot runway. Let's go ahead and head on down. Bringing the throttles up to about 60-ish. Once they stabilize, toga. Okay. Now the bad thing with the information you get from the checklist here for the default plane is you don't know what the EPRs are that they're looking for. Other than what's showing, which is 185. So that's pretty much full power. There's 80 knots, cross-checked, we're good, and we're trying to go off the runway to the side there. Sorry, folks. And coming up, V1, rotating, positive rate of climb. Gear up, and we're going to start acting like a rocket ship. Gear is up. All right, and what we're going to do, we're going to get the auto throttle on. And the autopilot. And we're going to go into speed and up to all right, keep our climb going to 220. Flaps coming up. And on up to 240. Okay, and flaps are fully up now. And let's go FMS. Oh wait, we got to do something here. Hang on. Direct. Execute. Now we'll go FMS. And what that does, folks, is the same thing as your GPS switch in the other default aircraft. Just basically whatever routes in your FMS or in your GPS, that's what it's following now. All right, so let's do the after takeoff checklist. Above 4,000. How about 400? We're going to set the roll. Above 1,000, we're going to lower to 10 degrees, which we're kind of, sort of. We're on autopilot already. We'll engage the autopilot A. Okay, if you say so. And flaps are retracting and making sure they're all the way up. And ignition selector to off. Let's do the auto brake while we're way down there. It is off. Ignition selector, we're going to take that to off. And after takeoff checklist is complete. We're into clouds. Outside air temperature. You know what? We are going to play it safe. Let's go ahead now and turn on our engine anti-ice left and right. And again, folks, do not even think you can touch the EPR limb. That is a dead switch. I'll show you what I mean here. Wrong one. Used to the 737. There, my mouse is over it and it's dead. So, but when you're in this view or W, it looks like it's active, but it's active for your fire alarm. And if you pull it, when you click it, you pull it, which means your engine dies. So, okay, so we are set here. The aircraft is through 10,000, through 12,000, believe it or not already. Strobes will remain on, anti-collision will remain on, and we're on our way. We'll go ahead, since I'm going to use this as no electronics, it's off. And time to set for 310 knots. Dang it. All right, so and that's going to lower us, so we climb, dot descend, climb. Okay, so now we'll switch to IAS and see if she'll hold 310. All right, folks. Climb cruise 10,000 feet. We turned the lights off. They say to call the seatbelts. We're going to keep them to 18,000, and then actually we'll get those. Okay, so it's going to play this game. Let me just see something. I had a feeling. Okay, so I pulled the power back a little to help us from overspeeding like we were and climbing ridiculously like that. We're coming up on 18,000 at transition. Center tanks are empty, so let's go ahead, get those real quick because transition will be next. Our next step here in this flight here to Nashville, and then bank angle to 15. We'll come out of this turn and set it then. While we're waiting for wings level, there's 18. We'll go ahead and dial down. And we are now wings level. Bank angle set for 15. All right, radar's on. We are cruise checklist now is what's going to be next, which is basically the same thing, folks. We're on our way and look forward to chatting more with you as we get into the arrival brief. But for now, sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of the flight, and thanks for choosing to fly with Mike. If you like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, and you want to join us on upcoming flights, feel free to. Hang on a second here. I didn't mean for that to start. Feel free to click follow or subscribe. Subscribe for those of you on YouTube. That'll let you know when we release another video. Follow or subscribe here just helps us out on Twitch. and also, more importantly, let you know the next time we live stream. Today, we've got 2 flights we're going to try to do. First one we're into right now to Nashville. The next one, we're going to try and turn right on the ground there to Boston. So we'll see you there. Hope you enjoy the flight, and uh, thank you for flying with Mike. Folks, feel free to chat away in the chat room there for the Twitch feed. Love to keep up with y'all. Let's take a look outside at the airplane. An old airplane we used to see at Mid-America Airport, where I work out of, in the public safety department. They no longer fly these. They got rid of them all. Smart airline. Not so sure if they were smart in the Airbuses, but I know a lot of you out there love the Airbus, so I'm not going to trash it too hard. I'm a Boeing fan, so. But anyway, there's the old MD-80 that started Allegiant off. All right, folks, we're back with you as we're reaching up here to 33,000 feet. Hope you've all been enjoying the stream so far. Hopefully we're not going to blow through 33,000. Oh, there it goes, catching it. All right. Started to think it was going to go through it. All right, so we're just going to kind of scroll a little down. 156 miles out of top descent. We have decided upon a runway. Hang on. Let's plug it in real quick since that's the only step I haven't done. We have rhythm 2 rants in. We're going to come in on the ILS for 20 left. And part of me wants to do the Reba arrival portion. Part of me doesn't. Let's go ahead. We're going to opt out. Let's see where that leaves us. Okay, so we got way too many rants here. Oh boy. Well, the good thing is we can cancel. Try to delete. Cancel. All right, hang on. We'll fix that hopefully. Alright, well, love when it does this to me. Okay, we got that cleared up. Now the hard part. What we're going to do is wait for rhythm to come up because I think, well, we're going to do the arrival brief right now. We'll try to clear those disconnects up. We'll see here. So let's all right, so let's get Sim Toolkit in here. Let's do a quick arrival brief while we're in cruise. We're having lots of fun with this aircraft as always, and hopefully we'll be able to make things make sense. Okay, so for the weather in Nashville, 160 at 8, 10-mile visibility, but the broken sky is at 600 feet, so a low ceiling. 3,600 is another layer, 7,000 yet another layer, 11 degrees Celsius, 30.06 on the altimeter. So we're going to have fun. Okay, so moving on, let's pull up our charts. Here's where we are. And rhythm 2. So from rants, it's direct rhythm. So we'll see what happens here. Now we need to be at or above 24,000 at rants, at or in between 19,000 and 11,000 by rhyme, and then we work our way down to color, and from color we'll go to the ILS and land on 20 left. Instructions up here are over obate, which is right here. We need to be at 12,000, between 12,000 and 6,000 at 250 knots. From there we'll track 149 to yaw, which is 4,000 feet. From yaw, we go to color, and there we're still at 4,000 to 10 knots. We slow. Then on track 110, expect vectors to our ILS. Frequencies 135 for the IDAS. Airfield is at 599 feet. Now we're doing the 20 left arrival, so we're going to join the localizer coming in. Localizer is identified India Sierra Sierra X-ray. It's on a frequency of 10935. Final approach course, which is the localizer 201. Okay, now by Judd, which I believe is this one. Yeah, that got to be that one. We'll be 6 miles out. We need to be at or at 2,000 feet or on the glide slope. Either one. Decision altitude 751 MSL above sea level, 200 feet AGL. And again, touchdown zone, just so you know, is 551 feet. Airfield is at 599. Now, if we need to do a missed approach, here are the instructions. We climb to 1,300 feet, then a climbing left turn to 3,000 on a heading of 040. Then we go outbound via the Bravo November Alpha VOR, which is at 14114.1 on the 072 out to Lennon, which is 25 miles away. And we go into a hold. It looks like a teardrop entry to the hold. Or unless ATC tells us to do something else. Worst case scenario, we hightail down to Atlanta. So transition's 18,000. Somewhere between Reba and Kramer, we'll join the ILS. And then we follow it into Judd, XIYRI, and then distance 1.6. Kind of shows you what we're doing. Judd is where we need to be at 2,000 and or on the glide slope. And then we're coming down. Okay, so we'll be expecting to see Mauser approach lights. And it doesn't tell us if or any pappies are around us here. So we'll see what we get. And here's our missed approach spelled out for us. Visibilities, RVR 50 or 1. And wait. Full 1, 24 or a half, which we're good on. Once we land on 20 left, which is this runway here, my goal is Hotel 3. I'll be thankful for Hotel 1 with the way my landings have been. But Hotel 1, 2, or 3 will come off onto Victor. I believe that. No, is that Victor? Oh, Hotel, sorry. And then up to Juliet. Tango 4 in, and our gate is right in here. We plan to park here, but somewhere in the seas is where we'll park on this side of the terminal. All right, folks, that wraps up most of the approach brief here. The only other thing to go over is we're going to VREF this at, let me take a look here. Let me get sim brief out of the way. Let's go ahead and plan our VREF at about 140. And go from there. Let me see if it's going to tell us anything in the checklist. Sometimes it does. It's kind of a weird checklist. No, it's not. No, it's not. So. Hang on a second here. All right, so we are now direct rhyme. So we'll begin our descent here shortly. As we firm up on this, I did not want to do that. There we go. All right, so we're going to go direct. We're not going to play the game. Well, we can try one. Boom. There we go. No, we're not. Oh, cancel. Oh, that's right. No, is it? Let me look at my flight plan here real quick, folks. Stand by. 115. Yeah, we're right. Okay, and legs. There we go. Okay, so we are headed to the right one. And that is perfect, as it'll be above 24,000 and we'll make the rest. That's perfect. All right. Oh, wait, why do we have an invalid entry? There we go. All right, so we are now set up. Get over to this one real quick. Hit progress. 71 miles out from our top of descent. Let me make sure I didn't forget. I did not. Okay. So our BREF, we're going to shoot for 140. I'm looking at the ops manual. Just maybe it'll say something. Nope, it's not going to help us either. Okay, so what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to set it for 140. We'll go for 138. And we'll set approach 150. So there we go, folks. Oh, let me get over here, zoom in, come down. There we go. All right, why are we going so doggone fast? Okay. It wasn't phasing me because I'm used to flying a 747, and Mach 85 is about right for it. Not for the MD-80. All right, folks, so we are now showing 50 miles out. So we're going to go ahead and get into our descent check. We've done our approach brief. Seatbelt signs will go on once we start down. The hydraulics are on. Altimeter, one more time, so I can make sure I write it down. 3006. Okay. And stand by. All right, folks, we start down anytime. Let's go ahead and give it a try. We're going to click. Let's dial back. Okay. Okay. So we are coming up on Rhyme, and we will be at 11,000. Yeah, this COVID thing is ridiculous. How company websites can't be kept up to date and all. Just kind of irritating. You would think they'd hire qualified IT people instead of take you off the street. Or people in the store give a damn and look at what they're actually on their shelves before they say they're available. So, anyway, rant closed, I know. We're not here to hear that kind of crap. We're here to fly. Okay, we're coming up on 11,000. We're going to begin slow. Well, let me take a look at the arrival. Okay, so from Rhyme, we actually can go on down to Obate before we have to slow. Actually, we'll slow at Jonelle. But, yeah, we'll set up for... We'll set up for 9. Keep things safe. Alright folks, we're off Rhyme at 10,000, slowing to 250. Actually, we're going to go ahead and put it to 240. Helps to keep us in check. Okay, and also, we'll go ahead and lower the approach lights. Get those retracted out, or extended, I should say, not retracted. That's kind of weird. And, Obate is when we have to be at 250. We'll be at 240 by then. So here we go. Coming up on 240. We're starting our descent. Get our heading set up here. Okay. Oh, I see. For a second, I'm like, why am I not on my chart here? Now I realize why. Okay. All right, so, well, we're going to actually be 1,000 feet below our constraint here, but that's fine. We'll hold it until we get there. And just before John Ill, we'll set for 4,000. Whoa. I didn't catch that. Oh no, that's right. So yeah, we'll keep 9,000, and then once we get off that, then we'll set for 4,000. All right. Okay, and we're at 9,000. There's that lovely... Ooh, don't be doing this now, plane. I hate when it starts bobbling around through here. That's why. Yeah, I've got to control the throttles. That's what was going wrong here. Okay. And we're about to dial in for our 4,000 foot constraint. Okay, so we're going to end the music here. All right, folks, we are now trying to get a descent going here. There we go. Because we got to be at 4,000 by our next one. And then 4,000 at colored, and then we descend to grab Kramer at or around 2,000. So we hit Judd at 2,000. Okay, so there's 240. Let me get some power going here. Okay. All right, folks. So here we go. We got the lights on, so we don't forget them. The nose lights on. And I'm going to go ahead, turn the wing on. All right. So here we go. Outside air temperature shows -5, so that is enough for me to go ahead, turn on the anti-ice, because we may be getting into the clouds here soon. We're supposed to be, so we're not descending. So that means we do this. All right, this is when I really get concerned. Why are you not wanting to go down? Okay. If I need to, speed brakes are coming up. Okay, well, this is going to be fun. Okay. right, we got the localizer armed. Come on, airplane. Quit screwing around. So it's showing it's on localizer. I'm going to keep this thing descending, folks. Sorry. Okay, this is going to be fun. Okay, gears down, 3 green. Okay, for safety, because I don't know what's going on here. I can't even see the airport. Oh my God, there it is. I had a feeling. Well, we'll see how it does. Hang on, that autopilot there. Sorry, folks, that I couldn't bring it in on the ILS. I had a feeling we were way off, and we were, and we're still way off, trying to compensate. We don't have brakes or anything, folks. Okay. Full reverse thrust. Come on, plane. Go around. The reverse thrusters didn't deploy. Okay, so we got the runway in sight. Airspeed looks a heck of a lot better. Everything looks a heck of a lot better when you can see. Come on, find that sweet spot. Okay, we are coming down with the rest of the flaps at the same time. Floating, of course. Always float. Okay, folks. Oh, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. Where did I say? Coming off at H1 or H10, whatever the heck it was. Guess where we came off at, folks? H1. Yeah. I don't like this plane. I really don't. And it shows. All right. Well, we made it this time. All right. Well, nobody guessed. So we'll continue our exiting here after landing. We will not be doing the second flight, folks. It's now 1:30 my time. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh, I see why. Okay. Trying to figure out where is it going to take us because I didn't remember it going anywhere but down this way. All right. Hang on a second here. We'll do our after takeoff as soon as I make sure we're straightened out. Okay, or after landing, let's get the flaps to 0, and they are. Speed brake. Let's get that retracted. Okay. Make sure on the outside. I did that once and they were still deployed. Looks like they are. Okay. Landing lights, we know they can go off. We're going to retract them. Strobes, well, they're off. Anti-collision on. Um, Transponder to standby. Oh, and I need to do something because it ghosted me because of that change in the weather. All right, so we need to go up to the top here. Start pump to on. APU coming on. Okay, and exterior lights are on. Weather radar off, which technically would be one of these switches. And let's get back over to that center line. Flight directors can go off. Nose light is on. Taxi clearance received. Charlie 6 is where we're headed. Okay, and the APU is on. We'll keep the gens off for now. And head into the gate. And once we're there, we'll go through the shutdown. All right, folks, we're going to shut the nose light off now as we come up here. And let's get back out on the tail. We're looking for Charlie 6, and I don't know how well they mark them here for us to find. I think it's going to be this one right here. Okay, as we pull into the gate, we'll shut that off real quick. Hang on a second here. Okay, and all right, so we're in the gate now. All right, let's take a look here. I'm just curious. Yeah, pretty close. All right, 4, and we'll come down, tip the parking brake that's on. All right, so nose lights off, seatbelt light. Hang on a second. We're shutting down and securing. So hang on a second here. And let's get this aircraft shut down. Seatbelts, electronics off, anti-ice all off. APU gen on, APU air on. Fuel to cut off. That's weird, it doesn't want to go down. There it goes. Spin back up, make sure they're both dialing back, and they are. Anti-collision. Oh, that's not too hard. It's probably off. And wing lights off. Okay, meter switch off. Hang on a second. I lost my place here. Anti-foils are off. Flight directors are off. Transponders on standby. Parking brakes off. Shutdown is complete. Hallelujah. I say that every time with this plane. Let's get that main door off. And here we go, folks. I'll show you how this works in the back. So basically, to get the air stair down, you click in the upper left corner to get the door open. Then click the bottom, and as we look outside, there goes the air stair down. Got the main door open already. And like I said, all you got to do is center your eyepiece here, turn it around so you're heading back, and just kind of zoom. That'll get you into the middle here. We'll go ahead and get the galley door open over here. All right, and at the same time, they're getting the cargo off. Okay, folks, we are amazingly here. I wish we could have done it better for you, but things just never seem to want to work out the way I want them to with the MD-80. I just always have troubles with this plane be it with the ILS, be it with the FMS. It's just something always creeps up. So being that it's almost 2 o'clock, we're going to go ahead scrub the Boston run today. I do apologize for that, but that's the best thing to do. That's still another 2.5 hour run, and that'll put us in close to 6 o'clock tonight. We don't need that. So, y'all, it's been a fun run, even though we had our hiccups like always, and ended up having to land KVOC and do a missed approach for y'all, kind of haphazardly. Wow, that was not even fun. So, y'all have a great rest of your Friday. Be safe out there tonight. And I'll be at work tomorrow, so Sunday will be our next flight. Not sure yet what we're going to do. I know we have something scheduled. Let me see. Just got to get over to this Sunday, no stream planned. So we got nothing planned for Sunday. Monday, we may actually head up to, well, let's see here. I'm looking over what we've done. We may do the Boston flight then, or what we scheduled may be out there. We might do Newark to Fort Lauderdale. We still will do the Perth to Singapore here soon. I don't know when. Sorry, we couldn't get that in today. But so yeah, we'll cancel the Boston half of this and reschedule that as well. So y'all have a great Friday. Be safe. And if you're in doubt, put her to KVOC. You can do that in the sim. The real guys can't, but we can. So enjoy your flight. God bless. Have a great Friday.